All right, we are into champion select of game number 3 of the ESL Pro Series. This is PanderNyrl here with CrusaderKittten. The score is 1-1 as we have Velocity and the Salad Bar. And it looks like we are finally going to get to see that ban on Thresh as he's been picked up in both game number 1 and game number 2.
Yeah, they actually banned it out against themselves, so possibly they proves it. ArcZSlash doesn't want to pick up Thresh this time around. They also, of course, banned out that Jarvan, and the Varus ban coming out against DkBnet. I guess they didn't see it in the first game. They definitely saw it in the second game where DkBnet just had an amazing Varus play coming out from him. So there are the bans. Two of the bans targeted towards those AD carries there.
I think it's a wise decision as his Varus has been absolutely dominant in those first 2 games. And it looks like that means Elise gets through, and we're going to be seeing her play. Not sure exactly where, as we've seen Velocity run Elise in several capacities. She's been both top lane and jungle. And I think it's going to be on Cris, but as we've seen in before, they could always put it in the jungle like they do that ridiculous lane swap last time with Shin in the jungle and Nunu up top.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be for Cris. This is the only game I've seen in the EPS where Cris is playing that they have not banned out the Elise, and now Cris is going to be picking that one up, so this is going to be pretty scary here. It's definitely going to be for Cris, though. Also, it looks like Jarvan we picked up here. You were saying how the Salbar really likes picking up that Jarvan. We saw it used so effectively last game on Ghoztzero.
And I think we're going to see, as you said, we're going to see him again. He really loves playing the Jarvan, and this time they're going to likely have that Sona on top of it, so they can put out an amazing ultimate combo with the yeah, they're going to capture them all in the Cataclysm, then dance them up with Sona, and it looks like Maplestreet's going back to a bit more of a safe champion for him with that Misfortune, which he loves to play and is usually his backup when Draven is banned.
Yeah, and that Sona, that's most likely why that Thresh is banned out, because the Thresh is such an effective champion versus Sona. From Maplestreet, picking up that Misfortune. He is a very strong Misfortune. Saw it yesterday. No, I'm not even sure. No, I did not see it yesterday. But he's still a very strong Misfortune. Also, this Lee Sin being picked up here, very interesting choice. He's being so popular, has the strong roam potential. We did see it in the first game, am I correct?
Yeah, what, who? Kog'Maw? No, Lee Sin. Lee Sin we saw in the first game.
Yeah.
He was fairly effective. He basically he was on the Salad Bar as he basically counter-ganked the entire time and was able to secure a lot of mid-game pressure. But it was not enough for Salad Bar to win that game. Let's see if it's any more effective this game. But I love these picks coming out on the side of the Salad Bar, as Kog'Maw would give them a great long-range champion. Same thing with Twitch, as that gives them something DKB loves. He loves those high-range champions that have a little bit of utility in them. They can really hyper-carry the game. And a Ryze, which can be both top and mid, as the top lane's gotten a lot more popular lately, just due to the fact he can basically sit up there and suicide and duel anyone 1v1.
Yeah, Ryze is such a strong champion here, so of course we're going to be waiting for that top pick. Last pick is going to be coming out here from Velocity Esports. This is, oh man, I'm really excited to see what they decide to go. This is going to be the mid laner and the support that they're going to be picking up here. Vileroze, I'll be interested to see if he goes for the Kha'Zix the 3rd time, because all 3 times he hasn't done too well in the lane. He's just been having a little bit of issues. He's getting zoned out by Ehonda, things like that. Really not able to get too much of that CS. So I'm really interested to see what he goes for this time.
I think he's going to go something more traditional on him. He likes the longer range champions, the ones that kind of sit back and farm. And with Twisted Fate banned, he might go with something like the Karthus, or if they're hovering over now, the Diana. But it will be Diana likely in the mid lane, along with Lulu in the support role, which means we're going to see a lot of mid-game aggression here from Velocity, and that's exactly what I love to see out of them. They're such a dominant mid-game team where they kind of do well early, but they snowball it the mid-game into the late, and it is going to be a brand again.
Oh yeah,
this is going to be fun, as Ehonda's brand is apparently now world famous after that last game. And it's going to be even more fun on top of the Ryze, who gives them a perfect setup. So this is Salad Bar's game to win off just the picks and bans.
Yeah, they definitely want to even out their 3-2, 4-3. but they're definitely behind a little bit in their match. So they definitely want to even that one out there. Velocity just wants to get over to the second place here. Velocity has a very nice team. We're gonna be coming out with this Lulu. Diana can dive in. She has the AoE around her, can throw off the wild growth can come out from Lulu and get the knockup. And the bullet type from Misfortune is absolutely devastating in team fights. The only thing they have to watch out for is, of course, Sona Crescendo, Jarvan Cataclysm, Ehonda. That Pyroclasm is very strong. So we are getting into this 3-minute spectator delay. Can go ahead and take down summoner spells. It's pretty much standard everywhere. Do you see evaniskus running off with that Ignite? He really loves running Ignites.
They really want
to support.
Yeah, it's because they love playing so aggressively. His Lulu didn't work out particularly well in the last game, just due to the fact they kind of got snowballed on after a bad engagement early on. But this time he should have a much better time, as Lulu Misfortune is the poke master lane. They can easily zone out that Sona and Twitch if they can land a few good attacks. The only problem is I don't think they're going to be laning up against each other unless MapleStreet wants to go in that top lane, and he doesn't really like to if he's on the blue side.
Yeah, so do you think this? So okay, so you just talked about lanes out. So do you think there's gonna be any early aggression? Because we've seen that these past 3 games.
I think we're going to see Velocity go early aggression again. They're going to try and make something happen at level 1. Try and get that early game advantage. Their team isn't great at level 1, but neither is the Salad Bars. Neither team has a whole lot of level 1 potential outside of the decent burst from Sona, Ryze with a good setup Rune Prison, and there's no real hard CC on the side of Velocity unless Cris wants to take Cocoon, but usually you want to save that for level 2 unless you really want to invade hard. But I think it's going to be basically them trying to catch someone out, but I don't think they're going to go all in like you've seen in these last 2 games.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to see what Vileroze can do on this Diana. I don't think we've seen that just yet onto him. So we've seen him play Kha'Zix so many times. Probably we're going to be seeing something different, so we'll see how it goes.
And it looks like we are going to be seeing MapleStreet run with that cleanse again, and there's not a whole lot to cleanse, as he's not likely to be hit with a stun from Brand. The root's not super important to cleanse for him. It's basically all about the crescendo and the exhaust. So it's going to be interesting, as it didn't work out for him in that second game. It worked out well for him in the first game, and DkBnet's choice of the barrier seems a little bit safer overall, but we'll see how it goes throughout the game, as there's not a lot of CC coming on the side of Velocity. They only really have the stun from Cris and the knock-up from evaniskus, along with a pull from Vileroze in terms of hard CC, and those aren't exactly that hard in terms of duration.
Yep, so you are going into these last few seconds. We're going to go ahead and go into commercial break very soon. Please turn off your ad blocks. You won't be missing anything. I'll help support NSL as well as EPS, and we can provide some more great games for you guys. So don't go anywhere. This is going to be Game 3 of Velocity versus the Salad Bar. So don't go anywhere. We'll go into an ad break.
Alright, we are back from the ad break as the teams are now loading up. This should be a rather exciting game, as this will be the final game of this best of 3. And it looks like we're going to see a bunch of awesome skins, as the Mafia Misfortune is out there, along with the Uncle Ryze. But a lot of them decided to go skinless this game.
Yeah, Diana, Brand, Twitch, no skins for them. Oh well. I'm just really excited to see this other game. I really hope it's going to be a closer game than we see these past 3 games, because they've been pretty much dominating plays by the other teams, really. So it's going to be exciting. We are into this game here, and we see, wow, Ryze going with almost all utility there, picking up the those 2 extra utility items there with the Toll Biscuit, Rejuvenation, as well as the Explorer's Ward.
You really want that so you can start out with a mana item, and it allows you to play very safe in whatever lane he decides to go in, as it looks like he is going to be going top, and then there won't be that lane swap, as they do want to be able to secure some farm up on Ryze. He should do okay against the Lulu Misfortune, but it looks like a really aggressive play here by Velocity, as they're already running to the enemy's jungle, and they might be able to catch someone, but it's going to be difficult, as it doesn't look like the Salad Bar is anywhere near.
Yeah, I think as King has taken that Resonating Strike first, or Song versus Resonating Strike, so they are looking for that early pick off, as well as just able to see through see through the brush there, but looks like they're just going to be throwing down the wards and potentially backing off. They could go for this red seal because it doesn't look like, nope, just throwing out wards, and they will go ahead and back off, it looks like.
Good decision there to back off from both teams. They wanted to get that early vision and make sure they don't get ganked. But they didn't want to risk it, as both of these teams have pretty decent level 1s, as Velocity has a bit more damage, but the Salad Bar has the much needed CC. And it is going to be, looks like a red buff start, as the entire team for the Salad Bar is checking, as they don't want to lose first blood in the jungle yet again.
Yeah, those have not worked out for them too well in the past. Of course, maybe last game was a different story. However, looks like they will just be starting off with this golems, which is such a popular pick for junglers now. It's really interesting to me how they have these guys starting out with these golems.
They really take the golems so they can get it as quickly as they can to the red buff and the race. And when you do that, you can easily rotate over to blue. And you get the most experience from it. It's very difficult to do, as you need good leashes and you need your mid laner to miss out on a few waves of experience, which most mid laners will complain about the entire time, as they really hate missing out on that first wave. But it looks like Ehonda is going to do very well against Vileroze in this mid lane, already pushing him off the creep wave, and it's only going to get worse from here. Yeah,
Ehonda is just so strong at, for one thing, farming and zoning out the opponent. But we do see this 1v2 lane swaps coming out here. It will have been Velocity Esports has switched it out. They're going to be setting Cris Ballman on his Elise there. Top lane will be frommaplestreet and evaniskus. And this will definitely be difficulty for Hirishin here, as he really won't be able to farm that well.
And he's not going to get that much farm, and Elise is going to at least get some. And Elise is also much better if she wants to back up, take a jungle camp or two, just to get a little bit of farm and experience. This is a good decision by Velocity once they kind of realized, hey, we're going to be, Salad Bar is going to be sending our 2v1 lane, or 2v2 lane down bottom. So we can get up top, get basically a free lane for Maplestreet, and get him off to a good start that he didn't have in the previous game.
Yeah, it looks like NK actually running into Ghoztzero here, and Ghoztzero just goes and gets under the
Cris
cover.
The bottom lane takes a lot of damage and is forced to actually flash away. He's going to be burning through most of his pots and actually going back to base. So it might be Salad Bar getting the better of these 2v1 lanes.
Yeah, but top in the attempted dive actually coming off here from Frommaplestreet took a lot of damage. He had to flash away from that one. Ward being randomly placed there. Not too sure why, but looks like they are staying in this top lane, seeing if they could dive onto Hirishin and push down the tower.
I understand why the wards were placed. They wanted to make sure Ryze was never going to go back to base without evaniskus being able to stop it. But the first ward was in range of the tower, so it will be seen and is able to be cleared off as soon as they get forward. But the second one will not, and he can always use that ward as a target for the Glitter Lance. No, the second ward's actually in tower range. I thought that was just outside of it, but apparently it is, and it's really not going to help the side of Velocity.
Mid lane trading between Ehonda and Vileroze. Vileroze getting the worst part of that trade there. You're getting taken down so low, just ran with that stun. Ehonda's utilizing it so well. He's just, he's getting up close to the stun. That's absolutely fine because he'll still be a little bit away from Vileroze. Vileroze being the melee champion.
And they're actually doing a good job of making sure this top lane survives. Ryze has picked up 9 minions. While it's not a lot, he's lived, and the tower's at good health. The bottom tower is actually at full health, so Velocity actually doing a little better. Maplestreet lost a few minions to that kind of awkward tower dive, and it looks like we're going to see Ehonda rotating down bottom and trying to pick up first blood.
Yeah, he really likes his roaming, as you were saying the last game. He just really likes to roam around. We also saw last game him roaming, or no, the first game him roaming around with Ghoztzero, but gonna be running into NK, throws out the stun, ArcZSlash, taking some damage, also got ignited there. Ehonda is actually out of mana, so we'll have to back off of this gank here.
And actually, NK wants to go in there, but there is a pink ward in that brush, and there's just 3 members down there, so he can't really go that aggressively.
Yeah, also his top lane Ghoztzero really helping out Hirishin here, stopping the lane from getting too far pushed up, and with all this pressure that's been happening down bottom lane, and with Ghoztzero helping Hirishin up at top lane, Hirishin's actually gotten a little bit ahead in CS over what Cris has currently.
And it's a good thing for Hirishin that he's getting some farm, as he really needs to pick up those mana items early so he can start stacking them. He doesn't need to worry about anything other than that Tear of the Goddess early and possibly the Catalyst, but it looks like Twitch is under a lot of trouble.
Yeah, jumping right onto DkBnet here. He has that Q going off. He's trying to get away from this one. He's taking so much damage. Looks like he'll be fine though and be able to get out of this one. And these teams are just playing it so safe, especially compared from the last two games where the early aggression just, you know, went one way or the other. And it's really surprising to see these teams just play so passively now.
But this passivity is not really good for either one of these teams, as they both have amazing late games. Though I think the late game from the salad bar is just a little better if they can get all their lanes rolling. And it looks like Ehonda is taking a small lead in the mid lane and is going to be able to do some good damage to this tower. But Maplestreet and evaniskus up top are going to be able to take that top tower down to half. Ryze still doing a very good job of keeping that tower alive. He's had to go back, or he hasn't gone back, but he needs to go back right now. And evaniskus is doing a great job of using that help picks on the minions and extending his Glitter Lance range.
Actually, Ehonda's coming up here for the gang. Not too sure how effective it would be. Actually, Ghoztzero coming up with him. The stun goes off onto frommaplestreet. Instant cleanse, but the flash and the sand going off. Power cloud comes out, but frommaplestreet still able to pick up the first blood. Going under the tower, but the tower is taking on Ehonda pretty low, but he'll be okay. But so from Maplestreet, even through all of that, he was able to pick up the first blood onto Hirishin.
They just got a little too greedy for that kill, but it was worth it overall, as Brand picked up a kill and will be able to snowball. And I think they're not that worried about Maplestreet at this point in time, because they know they're going to have enough damage to just burst him down, as we saw Ehonda ripped him to shreds with that Pyroclasm. And it allowed Ryze to pick up that Tear of the Goddess, get closer to that Cataclysm and Rod of Ages. And he should be just fine farming now, as he's tanky enough that he shouldn't have to worry about the harassment from evaniskus on Lulu.
Yeah, it was a great cleanse that came out of from Maplestreet to stop the Brand stun. The snake came out from Ryze, but it doesn't stop him from auto-attacking. Actually, Ehonda going to be running into Vileroze and NKing. This is for sure a kill, turning around, putting out some damage, but overall, Vileroze picking up the kill.
And that's the one reason why Brand is not highly played at the moment. He doesn't have a mobility skill, he doesn't have any real defensive options, and he's incredibly slow. He's picked up the 2 Doran's rings, which is a great start. And Cris is actually doing a great job of staying alive in this bottom lane and keeping the tower in fairly healthy shape, as it's still over half health. He's picked up about as many minions as Ryze, and he's going very tanky this game with 2 cloth armors already picked up.
Yeah, of course, he wants to get that armor in so he doesn't take too much damage from all the harass that comes out from Twitch. And Sona also looks like Ghoztzero going to be going for the red buff steal. He should be able to actually get it.
As it looks like Hirishin up top's under a lot of trouble for this tower, as it might go down, as evaniskus really wants to get something going. But a nice use of the Rune Prison up top means Maplestreet's got taken down to half health. And even though they lost the tower, it buys a lot of time, as Maplestreet's going to have to go back to base fairly soon. And it'll buys enough time for this bottom lane to be taken as well, as DkBnet will be able to finish this off in the next creep wave. We're also seeing Jarvan able to actually not get the steal off, as the red buff is still alive. Elise was able to pick it up, and they're going to be picking up the blue buff for Brand, so Brand will be able to roam around the map and have those extra cooldowns. His stun is on a ridiculously low cooldown, assuming you can actually get those blaze procs continuing, because it's about a 5 to 6 second cooldown with the blue buff up, and it looks like they might go into ArcZSlash in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and it looks like that tower did go down bottom lane. NK is around here just to stop and repel them from going too aggressive out onto Cris. But really, they're just trying to push up these lanes, getting these objectives. Vileroze is actually coming over the top, and Ehonda is following, as well as Ghoztzero heading up here. So we might be seeing some action coming in soon, but 10 minutes in here, I haven't seen too much early game aggression. It's a really big difference coming out from these last 2 games, and we just have to see how the mid game to late game plays for these teams with how much they're just staying back and farming up.
I definitely have to give the advantage salad bar so far, as their Ryze is off to a decent start, and Elise is not as effective as Ryze in the late game. Elise is much more about dominating the early to mid game, and it looks like Velocity really wants to make something happen. But Ehonda's here, and there's a nice knockup, followed out dodge with the stun by Maplestreet, but it does hit Vileroze, and that should spell the end of this fight, unless Ehonda's completely caught out.
No, he's going to be playing off the stun for the bullet time. Great bullet time coming across. Ehonda's not going to go down for him, and Hirishin picked up the kill onto Vileroze. You come away from Ghoztzero from Maplestreet trying to get into. He has the strat going, but the 3 members of the salad bar get away with ridiculously low HP.
Basically, they underestimated the damage of Pyroclasm there, as that's not a champion we see very often. But it just ripped through everyone. And Ehonda's doing a great job of actually surviving. I don't think there's anyone with a flash in the top lane. Lulu's will be up soon, but he's able to clear this wave and save the tower off virtually 0 health.
Wow. I cannot believe that he actually survived that bullet time. He was kind of walking in circles in that bullet time for a bit. I thought definitely was gonna go down. He was just so low through that. That was just ridiculous how he survived there, and how the rest of the Salad Bar really survived. So going back from Maple Street, goes straight for that Bloodthirster. Wants to get that. He's firing considerably well. He has the most CS in the game, so he wants to get those stacks rolling. Looks like same thing coming out for DkBnet. Has the BF Sword as well as the Vampiric Scepter. Also looks like potential Dragon incoming.
There's no way that Salad Bar could stop it at this point. Ghoztzero and Ehonda want to get in there, but there's still a few seconds left on Pyroclasm. All 5 members of Velocity are down here, and they see Misfortune out there, and they know that we can't really do anything. There's the flag toss for confirmation, and this is going to be a free dragon, and a small lead here for Velocity Esports. Ryze is going to get some good farm up top throughout all of this, so it's not a complete loss, but it really hurts them, as it looks like we're going to see a push in this mid lane.
Yeah, they're really just trying to go for these objectives at this point in time. Looks like once again Ehonda really wants to go for the Ryze Crystal Scepter early. Has that Giant Swell coming in. He actually went for the Boots of Speed though this time, instead of going straight for that Ryze as he did last game. Splitting off the harassment onto this mid lane. Ghoztzero is around, seeing what he can do.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen the lane swap around, as DkBnet and ArcZSlash could have rotated back up top. Same thing with Maple Street and evaniskus. They could have rotated down bottom and tried to apply pressure on the lane. But it looks like both of these teams want to get their AD carries as farmed as possible, and then go into the mid game very strong. And if this goes late, Twitch will eventually outscale Misfortune, but throughout the mid game, Misfortune is going to be infinitely stronger with that massive bullet time.
evaniskus is actually roaming down to this middle lane. Not sure what he's trying to do. I suppose, really not going to be able to do too much from the street. All he's doing is farming up the top lane. Bottom lane's absolutely pushed out. Looks like bottom lane for the Salad Bar will just go ahead and go back. So really passive, this is really passive going on here. What do you think the first team fight is going to be happening?
I don't think we're going to see a team fight for a long time. I think it's going to be a lot of scrimmages. This looks like Maple Street's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he is getting absolutely caught up. Hirishin just waiting inside the brush. While came up from the Lulu. Can he get out of this one? No, they will not. Cactus going up. evaniskus flashes out of that one. And now there's going to be the slows coming off. And Ehonda is also here putting up the damage. Ghoztzero picking up that kill. They're doing a very nice job of just letting other people have kills there. And 2 fair kills up in that top lane, just a little bit too overextended by Velocity Esports. Vileroze going to be jumping in onto Ehonda. Pyroclasm, the flash crescendo coming out. Vileroze is getting really low here. Same thing for Ehonda though. NK Inc. is also trying to get the kill. Cris is coming in here, puts off the stun onto Ehonda. Ehonda will be going down. Cris picks up the kill. So well done there by Velocity. NK Inc. went in there when he needed to, and Cris is able to show up. Got a great stun off.
Perfect tower aggro trading, as they were all very low. They each took 2 or 3 shots, and they were able to back away without any real loss. They took down Ehonda and stopped his farm. As Vileroze is very low in health, they won't be able to push this mid turret. But Brand is still out farming this Diana, and if he can get going, as we saw in that last game, that one good Pyroclasm with a few lucky hits will basically end a team fight, and he has enough damage that he should be able to burn down Maple Street if he can actually get on top of her.
Yeah, and it's just, it's really Ehonda. He's able to put out so much damage. Going for that Ryze because the Scepter has the slows soon going to be coming out for him. Also, once again, we're seeing these boosts of mobility coming out of Ghoztzero. Something he really prefers there, I think. Just being able to be so mobile around the map, chasing after people. We see that coming into play, chasing after evaniskus right now. evaniskus is going to be going down. Hirishin picks up that kill. They're really going to start to get this Ryze rolling. And once you get Ryze rolling, there's no stopping him.
He's going to become the really big tanky force that Salad Bar needs late game to kind of divert pressure away from DkBnet, because there's no reason to really hit Brand after he burns his full combo, and that basically means all on the DKB, as they'll be able to jump on top of him with both Lee Sin and Elise, along with Vileroze, all having great dashes that will be able to easily get to him. But it looks like Ehonda's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're diving in onto Ehonda. Power Cleanser comes across. There is a kick coming out from Elise. Bullet time onto Ehonda. Ehonda is super low. There is the Q coming out from an AK and picks up the kill. Now Ghoztzero has to get out here. EQ combo can get out of that one fairly easily. It looks like Hirishin's going to be coming down to help stop the push on this tower here, but just well done by Velocity Esports. Great kick coming out from Elise and just locking down Ehonda there, picking up the kill.
They're also going to be able to take this middle turret, as MapleStreet did have enough damage to finish it off. Cris under a lot of trouble in his bottom lane, but DkBnet is taking a lot of damage as well, and he will have to run away. He doesn't have the mana for a stun at the moment, but DkBnet not fast enough with Elise net spotter form is just too quick.
Yeah, it just looks like Cris just wants to stay in this lane here. He feels very confident with his Elise, I feel. He's pretty ahead in CS over the Ryze is at this point in time. And we're starting to see from Velocity start to regrouping up a little bit more. They had about 4 people in that mid lane compared to the salad bar, and you know, they had having 2 people, and Cris is able to hold off the 2v1 down in bottom lane. Look at this, now they're going to be going for the tower.
They should be able to easily take this. Ryze is not in a position to stop it. Jarvan was off helping Brandon in the jungle pick up that blue buff, and Twitch is going for that Infinity Edge. They really need him to pick that up so that they can take a fight at the next dragon, which will happen in about a minute or so's time. And I think that's where we're going to see the next big engagement, as this dragon is incredibly important, and DkBnet actually takes a good bit of damage up here, but he will be there just in time to save that turret. And with his turret protected, we're going to have to see the Salbar rotate down bottom soon, or they're going to miss out on this dragon.
Yeah, they're really pressuring all these towers, so 3-1 in the towers. It gives Velocity Esports just the gold lead they really need there. So they're slightly ahead in gold lead, so they do have those global objectives down for them. When Dragon respawns top lane again. Actually, top lane, DkBnet stopping Vileroze from backing. I don't think Vileroze is really paying attention there. DkBnet trying to chase after this one. The damage coming off, flashing in there. Can he pick off the last auto attack onto Vileroze? And no, actually, the poison was able to finish off the kill there. Nicely done. DkBnet, he was, Vileroze backing in that warded brush, and he got taken out. Meanwhile, mid lane, Power Captain came across. Cris going in. Ghoztzero is extremely low. Cris is going to get stunned by Ehonda, though. There's a wild growth coming up onto Cris. The turning ground, trying to get from MapleStreet. That's coming off, but Hirishin picking up the kill, and now Cris has to flash out. He's exhausted, but he's in the spiral form. He should be fast enough to go. Yeah, the Hirishin flashing over, gets the snare, gets the double kill. Jeez, Hirishin on this Ryze is going rampant right now. Ehonda and King going onto him, but he immediately just backs off from that one.
I'm surprised they're not going for the dragon at the moment, but I guess they really want the map vision of this tower. Hirishin playing an absolutely amazing Ryze game. He's picked up 5 kills, more than the entire Velocity team, and with that tower down, they're going to now go pursue dragon. Still a few seconds left on Cris, and they were able to take the top tower as well with Twitch pushing it, and it means the salad bar is now in the lead, and they're looking to absolutely secure this mid game as Ehonda goes to zone.
Yeah, and looks like that there's the tower, and I mean the dragon and King gonna get stayed inside that base. Will he be able to get out of there? Yes, he will. He can just ward jump out of there. Also, Vileroze is here chasing after Ghoztzero, but the EQ combo the other way from Ghoztzero. The Ignite Hammer ticks down, picks up the kill. The bullet time absolutely melting through these guys. Vileroze finally gets taken down, but double kill coming out from MapleStreet with that bullet time as well as auto attacks. Really, that bullet time just doing so much damage, and now DkBnet is going to be joining the fight from MapleStreet is also coming in onto here, and looks like they'll just go ahead and back off.
Good trade though overall by Salad They were down before that fight in terms of gold, and they managed to take a small lead. They got the dragon, and they picked up the middle turret as well, so all outer towers have been claimed by both teams, as this is going to go very late, as they look very even, with the exception of Ryze, who's getting absolutely monstrous as he's picked up 6 kills now. He's actually not gone the standard Ryze build. He's picked up a bit more mana and damage as he's gone for the Seraph's Embrace early, instead of waiting and picking up something like the Frozen Heart or even another Rod of Ages like we've seen a few times.
Yeah, and he's just gonna get so tanky with that build. Cris is still out farming him though. He has the Haunting guys gonna be building. He actually has the Seeker's Iron Guard completely stacked up, so he could get that Zoning's Eyeglass when he has enough gold for it, of course. Also, Ryze's Scepter finish on Ehonda here. Also seeing from MapleStreet, it has that Bloodthirst. It also has that Last Whisper, so he'll be doing dealing out quite a bit of damage, going through the armor. There's really not that much armor built up. Jarvan does have that lockdown to Lulu. I'm really surprised he didn't go for that Aegis before, Aegis first, as we've seen before.
And it looks like we're going to see them rotating around the map and just continuing to let DkBnet and Twitch farm up and get into this late game so we can pick up the Phantom Dancer and the Armor Shred so that he will be an absolute monster. As it looks like Misfortune has gone for much more of a mid-game centric build, picking up the Last Whisper and the Bloodthirster early on, as she really wants to make something happen now. She doesn't want to pick up the Zeal and wait for the lucky crit. She wants to pick up as much damage for that bullet time. As it looks like the Salad Bar might be trying to sneak something here, or at least get around the side for an interesting engagement.
You know, lots of people getting up around here. The Crescendo not going to be able to hit anybody. Snare going down onto NK Inc. Bullet time coming across. The Cataclysm going right onto front Maple Street. The Hirishin goes down to the damage from the bullet time. And now they're just actually cleaning up the rest of the Salad Bar. Ghoztzero is solo. Will be taking out NK Inc. Picks up the kill. Ehonda went down to evaniskus there. And that was a 3-for-0 exchange. And Vileroze Esports came out on top of that one.
Really bad engagement there by the Salad Bar. They thought it was only going to be 2 or 3 people in the mid lane, but instead it was all 5 of Velocity's team, and Velocity is going to go push for the Baron here. They only have Twitch and Sona here, which are decent and might be able to stop it, but with everyone at full health on the side of Velocity, and Lulu doing a good job of warding up the enemy side, it is going to be a free dragon outside of something really crazy happening. Or Baron.
Yeah, that Baron's going to be going down. DkBnet trying to steal, but now he's going to get jumped on by Cris, and that's just trouble for him from Maple Street. Picks up another kill. Now he's 5-3, and that's just absolutely scary there. And that a lot of that is Crescendo. He shot it across sideways, thinking he would be able to get something. He got out of it way too quickly. The Crescendo hit nobody and just didn't do that much in the fight.
They really needed to coordinate a little better on the side of Salad Bar. They had a lead going into that fight, and they didn't wait for Twitch. They wanted to try and find a few pickoffs like they've been doing, but Velocity realized we're giving up too many in these small engagements. We need to make 5v5 team fights happen, and they did there, and it managed to net them Baron, and it's going to net them likely another tower or two, as I'm not sure that the Salad Bar can contest towers at the moment, unless their group up is 5, and they can't afford to, with Twitch still needing a lot of farm to be at his maximum potential.
Yeah, and they really had to take out from Maple Street before the full channel of that bullet time comes across, because that's what absolutely just ripped through Hirishin last fight, and they really need Hirishin to be able to stay alive throughout these fights, but he's just not able to. Looks like a war battle coming on here, but of course Evaniskus is going to win it out with that Oracle's Elixir. And top lane minions are pushing. There's so many wards in the jungle coming out of the Salad Bar right now. Coming out of Velocity Esports.
Lulu has picked up an Oracle's Elixir as well. But it looks like she's going to go down for it. Or maybe not. She's really tanky and has actually forced them back. She took a full combo from Brand, and it did not do enough damage. She just not farmed enough. He didn't snowball like he did in the last game, and his damage is really pitiful, and it's showing.
Yeah, that wild growth just not too good at all. The stay going up onto Cris. Bullet time comes across. Not going to be used to that good of an effect. So let's see if the Salad Bar can do something with that high damaging ability down. Although a few of them are pretty low. A few chunks of health are missing from them. The Pyroclasm is down from Ehonda, of course. And looks like just with no bullet time at all, Velocity Esports just goes ahead and goes back. They go ahead and like farm with the creeps and whatnot.
It's a good decision to go back at this point. They have a bit of gold on everyone. They don't need to risk anything at this point. They realize they're ahead. They realize they have a large window of opportunity before Twitch just becomes the out-of-control carry that we've seen times in the past. And they know that they can just play it safe, group up, take a tower, either top or usually middle or bottom, or possibly top if they so choose. But they need to group up as 5 and make that engagement happen with all their ultimates up, which are still a few seconds away.
Yeah, they'll have those up soon, and then the teamfight potential will just be right back where it was before. That bullet time is just absolutely devastating to the team. They really want to use this Baron buff, though. Looks like they're just pushing up on the side lanes. They have from Maple Street down on bottom lane, pushing that one up. Looks like they're going actually on to DkBnet, who's able to get under this tower, has that stealth going on for him. Not going to be seen through that one. Lisa not getting in there, I think, with his ability. So DkBnet just goes ahead and gets out of there. Flash away from Vileroze, get out of a Ehonda stun there. And looks like they are really pushing out onto his top and his bottom.
They're slow playing it, and it's a good decision at this point. Bullet time just now came up, and MapleStreet's getting basically a free lane at this point, unless DkBnet wants to duel, and it looks like he does.
Oh, flash away by frommaplestreet because that ambush from Twitch just took down Misfortune at half health right there. Gonna force her back, and now they can move DkBnet and ArcZSlash right back up to top and hopefully get a good team fight.
Great decision there by from MapleStreet to just flash away. And with that, and everyone grouped up top, this is going to be a free dragon on the side of Velocity. So yet another gold advantage for no real loss, as it looks like Twitch really wants to make something happen.
Yeah, I'm going right into NK cover over the wall with him. Cris comes right back down with flashes right over that wall. These guys are just so slippery getting out of there over that Baron Pit wall. And that the dragon will be going over to from MapleStreet and evaniskus. And MapleStreet is now just at full HP, so he wasn't even forced to back after that. But looks like the Salvar are all kind of hanging out in this little corner right here. Oh, the crescendo onto from MapleStreet, but the Cataclysm comes down so much hand. And he is shut down. From MapleStreet is taken out at the beginning of the fight there. Ghoztzero's in the middle trying to take it all up. evaniskus is zoned out here. Ehonda chasing after him, gets the slow off, has the steer down onto him. They're still chasing after this pillar flame, not going to be able to land there. Chasing after him, he's going. Ghoztzero goes over the wall. Vileroze going to be coming in though on a lot of them. Double kill coming out for NK. They absolutely bursted down all of them. Ghoztzero is going to be solo. DkBnet has jumped onto. He's going to be going down. And that was an ace.
Wow, that was a terrible fight for the Salad Bar. They had the fight won, but they just were short on damage. Yet again, like we saw in the first game, they made some great engagements, but they're just a little too far behind. If they had a little bit more damage, just like 1 or 2 more points of damage here or there, they would have been able to finish off Cris or possibly someone else in that fight. But only losing MapleStreet is not that bad, as they really over-pursued at the end, trying to get those kills. And Diana and Vileroze just carried that fight with a beautiful pull in and sealing their fate with everyone else just jumping on top of the 4-man pull.
Yeah, the moonfall also that just came off of Diana. She was in the middle of everybody. Moonfall came off of Diana. Elise got in there. He got a double kill right when he leaped into there. And that was just, oh man, they just absolutely bursted them down so quickly. Didn't even need from MapleStreet here to take down the team. And, you know, there's a few people being out of position. They're also pretty low after that pickup onto from MapleStreet here. And this is going to be really rough for the Salad Bar now.
They really just need to stall the game. Salad Bar has a better late game team comp with their lineup, but they need to just stall. If this game can go another 20 minutes and let Twitch fully get his items out, let Brand pick up another item or two, and let Ryze get a bit of defensive stats, they'll be okay. But they're just not letting that happen on the side of Velocity, as Velocity really wants to push this middle inhibitor soon, and possibly even wait for the next dragon, which should be spawning in a little less than a minute.
Yeah, so we see Lee Sin. He's actually stacking a lot of magicas, which is pretty smart versus Ryze and Brand. But picking that Spirit Visage is really interesting to me. What do you think is the reasoning behind that?
He just needs cooldown reduction and the extra bit of healing from his natural lifesteal. He really wants that extra cooldown reduction so that he can jump in the fight and jump out of it an extra time or so. And then it's also magic resistance, because he doesn't care about Twitch. He is going to be stopping Twitch with his slows and the attack speed slow most of all, as it looks like we're going to see Velocity rotating in to pick up this Baron.
Yeah, they're warding up around it. We did have Ghoztzero picking up an Orca's Elixir. They are aware of this, and they really want to clear out the wards in the area so they can gain control using that vision. Looks like Ehonda going to get stunned down the middle lane by Cris. But yeah, this Baron's definitely going to be the highly contested right now. But Hirishin going to get jumped on by Vileroze. Vileroze taking lots of damage. In return, though, the bullet time comes across as well as the wild growth onto Vileroze. Zonia's hourglass being used there. Shikishino comes across, but Cris jumping right into Ehonda. Will be able to pick up the kill onto Ehonda. Now Cris is going to be able to walk out of there. It looks like Vileroze is still able to lift out the whole time. ArcZSlash trying to run away. Exhaust goes out onto Cris. And this is looking really bad for the Salad Bar as DkBnet is in the front trying to put out the damage. Hirishin is slowed down. And no, the stun going off onto DkBnet. DkBnet takes so much damage from this. Will be taken out from MapleStreet picking up the kill. Hirishin now in the middle of everything trying to tank it up. Ghoztzeero being chased after by Vileroze. Goes down. It's another ace for Velocity Esports. 5-0 this time. And this is actually possibly looking like game or the inhibitor and the Baron.
It's not game just yet, as they realize Ehonda's respawning soon, and they're all fairly low. They want to take down this inhibitor, and an excellent decision to just let one person sit up there and take it. They're going to go over and take the Baron, but it's basically a good game at this point. It's a 10,000 gold lead, and they really just don't have the damage on the Salad Bar to deal with the velocity tankiness. Twitch does not get protected enough to sit back and auto attack. He's basically kiting around the entire time, and that Salad Bar they can't protect him enough. That's all it's coming down to. Ryze has actually finished off that Seraph's Embrace, but nothing else. He really could use a bit of armor at this point, as armor is the biggest thing for him. If he can get Misfortune's damage reduced just a little bit, he might be able to stay alive for a few seconds longer.
Yeah, just the Elise on Cris has been on point. He's been stunning out the key targets, and his Exploding Spider just does so much damage. He's 5-1-4. And then look at NK Inc. honestly sitting 5-0-11. Hasn't even gone down this whole game. He's been having so much effect in this game so far, and the thing is, Ghoztzero, he is the main tank for his team right now, but he's just not even tanky enough. Doesn't have that Aegis of the Legion yet. He doesn't even have the Emblem of Valor for it yet, and he's just really behind. And most of the Salad Bar is just getting really behind as these team fights. They're just going in the way of velocity.
And it's really snowballed against them, because less than 10 minutes ago, it was a dead even game, and even slightly in the Salad Bar's favor. But this is just showing a bit more experience and coordination on the side of velocity, as they managed to take most of these fights. And it looks like we're going to be sacrificing an inhibitor, as Ehonda's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, Ehonda. Wow, just absolutely bursted down. Another 4 members of the Salad Bar remaining. Go back. I'm not even sure what they were trying to do there. Ehonda's got absolutely bursted. They're going to be losing another inhibitor. Now Velocity can only just push up this top lane, and probably will be able to do it pretty easily. Minions are pretty much pushed up there at this point in time, but sort of hanging around, putting off the poke. The Exploding Spire is just so strong right now. It looks like they're going to go ahead and tank this tower.
They have no real worries at this point. They realize Ehonda's down, and that's the one champion that could have made a comeback in this game, at least in the next few minutes. If he landed a perfect combo and taken out MapleStreet quickly, they could have won a fight. But MapleStreet is just too strong, and Ehonda is not even alive. It looks like DkBnet gets destroyed.
Yeah, there's so much damage coming out. Bullet time comes across, however it's cancelled. DkBnet actually still alive. So thank goodness for that, just for his team at least. That inhibitor is going to be going down to the last inhibitor for Velocity takeout. There's a power cousin coming across, however, going to disapparate, and Ehonda going to get taken out. Going in there from Ghoztzero, putting everyone in the Cataclysm, but there's no follow coming off from his team. And Velocity Esports able to take out Ehonda's ArcZSlash and Ghoztzero. GG's coming out. This is going to be Velocity Esports taking the game right here, taking the series 2-1 in a little bit of a closer game than normal until it got to the team fights here. People dying on the base, and the Nexus is going to be falling here, and that's going to be Velocity Esports. I believe they're going to be able to take the second place spot in the EPS now with this match.
I believe they are, and it looks like they're in great position to go forward and finish off the EPS strong before hitting the LCS, as their team fighting looked absolutely amazing. Salad Bar just made a few too many mistakes in that team fight, and Brand going for that utility build really didn't pay off this game where it did in the second one, excuse me. This is the ESL Pro Series here, sponsored by the NESL and the ESL. Thank you all for watching. This will be the last of our games for now, but we will be moving on to cast some of the Go for Lulz in North America. I am PanderNyrl here with CrusaderKittten. You can follow me at twitter.com/PanderNyrl. You can follow him at CrusaderKittten?
Yep, twitter.com/CrusaderKittten. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter. Also, you can find more about NASL National. ESL.com is our website. Hold on, I'm about to link things down into the chat. There's also our Facebook, facebook.com/TheESL. You can go ahead and follow us there. On Twitter, twitter.com/ESL. Go at us and follow us on our social media links and whatnot. Thank you everybody for watching. Right after this, we're going into our goal flows on the NSO. We bring to EPS to bring like the top 8 challenger teams in the league, as well as weekly goal flows going on. So everyone just stay tuned, because we will have goal flow NA coming up very soon.
Thank you for watching Games Cast by PanderNyrl. If you wish to see more, follow my YouTube and Twitch pages below.